she did that. I will tell you this real quick. I don't profess to be a writer, poet, journalist, anything like that. There are people here who would be hard-pressed to believe that I can actually read. But Teresa contacted me about doing this, and she wanted me to do a work that I had done for the last one that she liked. And I'm going to do this one and 2 other original pieces I've done. They're really quick. Not as quick as everyone else, the second half, but they're pretty quick. So this is the one I did last year for Teresa. You got to remember what the time period was. And let me also say this real quick. I'm not a poet, so none of this stuff rhymes.
You like that?
So this one is called What Do I Tell My Son? When I was a youngster, my parents told me several things, as I suspect your parents told you. The list was never spelled out, it was never detailed, but it was drilled into me on a regular basis as much as anything a child must learn growing up. As a young black boy, allow me that again, black boy, some of those things are particularly important, and more so than to white kids. I am sure you yourself may have heard and been taught some of them as well. Stay in school, don't do drugs, respect authority, know who you're with, know where you are, stay away from strangers, go outside and play, respect yourself, respect your elders, don't embarrass yourself, don't embarrass me, that was my mother. Stay out of trouble. If you see a gun, run. Respect the police. So these days, what do we have? Kids killing classmates in schools, marijuana made legal in a few states and more to come, Republicans and racists are constantly disrespecting the best president since FDR. Remember, this was last year. Yeah, I said that, and no disrespect to Bill Clinton, but come on. A young boy is murdered in Florida by a man he was trying to avoid and get away from. Another young man is murdered while sitting in the backseat of a car with his friends because some drunk white man says their music is too loud. Black kids are shot dead in these streets every day because they're staying around or doing things other than being in the house. YouTube, Vine videos, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are allowing people to put themselves out there being fools and doing foolish things. Internet thieves and bad actors target older citizens with scams and other schemes to separate them from their hard-earned savings. Guns are so prevalent in this country that you almost have to have one to make sure you don't come up short in a situation. And now, finally, at the end of my commentary, we have police basically hunting down and killing black women. Let me be clear for a moment. There have been so many of these incidents in the news as of late that it's become too hard to keep track of names and places. We know that Trayvon Martin was minding his business. We know he posed no threat. We know he was just walking home from the store wearing a hood to protect his head from the rain. We heard the testimony that he was talking to his buddy and saying that he was being followed by a creepy guy. Why didn't he know to hang up from her, call his father, or call the police is a fear of his parents to teach him the things that our parents taught us? Is that the reason he is now dead? I don't think so. But I'm sorry that he didn't know to do that because it surely would have changed his fate. When as a black man you are confronted by several policemen who are smaller than you, and you raise your hands up and step back as Eric Garner did in New York City, why do you need to be choked to death and basically lose your life over someone new cigarettes? If he was taught, as you and I were taught, to respect authority and respect the police and didn't resist, as clearly seen on the cell phone videos of that incident, that we are not where I think we should be as a society. If a black man in Tulsa, Oklahoma falls for a police sting and does not confront the police but runs from the police and is tackled in the process of being subdued, he is shot while laying on the ground, what lessons did he not heed as a child? He surely wasn't staying out of trouble. He surely wasn't trying not to embarrass himself. I'm thinking he had no idea he would end up being in a viral video and had no thought that he would die while being handcuffed. Do you? Lastly, I have family in South Carolina. I'm I'm more deeply disturbed by what happened in North Charleston than by any of these other incidents. And I need you to understand why. As a child, I spoke as a child and needed to learn as a child was taught. As a child and even younger man, I took to heart the lessons my peoples taught me and tried very much not to embarrass myself, and certainly didn't want to embarrass my mother, not on her job. Did I stay out of trouble? Mostly. Did I know where I was and who I was with? Mostly. Did I stay in school and all the other lessons I already detailed? For the most part I did, and now at, well, this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now at 53, 56, I can stand here before you and recite this soliloquy to you. I would like to think that if I were confronted with one of these incidents that have caused so many tragic deaths in this country when I was a youngster, I would have fallen back on my lessons and come out on the other side, alive, safe, and sound. But when a duly appointed officer of the law pulls a grown-ass man over for supposed broken taillight and ends up killing that man by calmly shooting him in the back 6 to 8 times, while that man is running away from being tased, when that same duly appointed officer of the law then walks over and handcuffs that clearly now incapacitated man before going back to retrieve what appears to be his dropped taser to plant near the body. And when his fellow duly appointed officers of the law show up and allow the man to bleed out before attempting first aid, and yet all agree to the write-up in their official reports. And if not for the hand of God guiding a young man to use his cell phone to quietly video what was going on and bear witness to this atrocity, would yet another senseless killing of yet another innocent black man be known of or talked about, and would yet another killer wearing blue be still loose on the streets? So I ask this not just rhetorically, but with an impassioned quest for a serious answer. When a grown man sees a gun and decides to run, for he knows what to do and has harmed no one, yet as no longer as a child, he is close to 51. What is that? What lesson is there to share? What if yet again no justice is done? Please, oh God, please, tell me, what do I tell my son?